911, what's your emergency?
I'm freaking out. I can't stop watching these videos. And this guy won't let me turn it off.
Sir, what are you talking about?
He's this big bald guy. He's raising his hands up in the shape of horns. What is that about?
Oh boy, we've got a code 666.
What the hell is that?
Mother, man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Murder Metal Mayhem. And I'm here with you at the Horns High Annex, not the studio, but the Annex, doing another Murder Metal Mayhem for you. And if you're new to the channel, get yourself ready for a white knuckle trip with me today as we talk about some true crime craziness. But each of these videos is less than 666 seconds, which is 11 minutes and 6 seconds if you do the math. And no one else will guarantee you this. I'll give it to you for free if I'm over the time limit. All right. Don't forget, though, real quick, please like the video, subscribe if you're not, and drop a comment below with your thoughts and ideas. It helps the channel grow and gets a video out there to more people. Remember, though, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'll be giving my thoughts and ideas about this case. I'm not saying anyone is guilty, and everything I say is, of course, alleged. Now, when it comes to the Idaho 4 case, stuff continues to come out to give us something to talk about. The docs keep dropping, and things for the two roommates get messier by the day. They, of course, were not injured, and by the hair of their chinny chin chins, they escaped. Maybe. When it comes to most of the true crime cases I've ever followed, anyone who's alive when the cops show up is almost always the one that did it. I know most of us here agree with that. But what would you think if those victims were one of your own? Would you, make those two out to be Mother Teresa meets the Tooth Fairy? I don't think so. Now, I'm tired of people in the comments complaining about that kind of stuff. It's so stupid. I mean, for everyone who feels bad, the need to defend those two, would you invite them over for dinner with your family? Or better yet, would you let one of your kids, your daughter, go live with them in a house and go to college in a faraway state like that ancestral town in Moscow, Idaho? So I doubt it, if you're being honest. So my question is, what if we think a bit more about this case from a different angle? What if the reason was that Dylan was thrown under the bus in the PCA, the probable cause affidavit? We know that law enforcement got her to admit that she saw details of their subject in the dark when she was claiming she was the drunkest woman on the face of the earth. She didn't do that on her own. They put those words in her mouth. So why did they do that to her and not Bethany? They could have put her on the second floor with Dylan just as easily as they concocted the story about Dylan having a run to her in the basement. I mean, Bethany could have seen Xana on the floor and ignored her just like Dylan did. So why did law enforcement choose to do it the way that they did? Was it the feds? Was it the state cops? Or was it the locals in Moscow that made the call to deem Dylan the sacrificial lamb? If you ask me, I think the reason Dylan was, ended up starring in the PCA was because they couldn't get Bethany to play ball for some reason. Wouldn't it have been more impactful if law enforcement was able to get both women to agree to one story? There has to be a reason why that doesn't involve the fairy tale that Bethany and Dylan woke up at 11 a.m. We know that's not the case based on their own phone records, no matter how many times they try to say that. So why didn't Bethany go along with the plan? Well, it could be that her exculpatory evidence butts heads with what Dylan was made to say. I mean, what could that be? What if Bethany saw Dylan do something to show that she was involved? I'm not saying that means she was physically involved in the attack, but she could have been playing the part of the inside person, providing information in real time to others lying in wait. At a minimum, that puts her in the middle of the whole thing, just like a getaway driver takes the same heat as the ones who do the wet work. I've always thought that a female was part of the crew that did this. Who knows? Maybe BK was part of the crew. Maybe he was the getaway driver. I have no idea. I really doubt it, but anything's possible. We've been told multiple weapons were used on Kaylee alone. The cops said there were marks on her face that they can't trace to a K-bar or bare hands. So that means what we've always thought all along. There's more than one murder weapon, and that means probably more than one perpetrator. But of course, they can't say that because it ruins their little story. So she could have been part of the duo that did that to Kaylee, possibly. We've been told that there's some bad blood between Dylan and Kaylee. That's why it was odd that she drove the 90 miles to Coeur d'Alene to beg her to be her plus one for the formal on Friday at the sorority. Why was she so desperately trying to get Kaylee to come home that specific weekend? In addition, some of the details of the autopsy that's been made available notes all the wounds that Xana endured. Many of them were more superficial than life-ending mortal wounds like we saw with the other victims. Was that the difference between somebody with experience and those without? Or could it have been the difference between the strength of a man as compared to a woman? Was Dylan possibly involved in the attack on Xana, and the "don't worry, I'm here to help" was actually directed toward her needing help to finish Xana off? I mean, is it possible she heard those words, except she conveniently left out that the words were intended to her, the failed female executioner? It's possible. Anything is possible if you don't agree with the mainstream media explanation of how this all went down. So, what do you guys think? Drop a comment below. It helps the channel and lets me get, looking at your input so I can steer the ship and look at more videos to do with you. Don't miss my next live. That's going to be Sunday, August 7th at 4 p.m. Central. I'll be doing an open discussion on true crime with you. So bring your topics, and I'll see you there. Check out the link in the latest description for our killer new merchandise page. Really awesome. Definitely digging it. I put that down at the bottom there for you. So if you want to get some of that new merch, you can do that. We've got hats, stickers, pillows, tapestries, phone cases, hoodies, everything, and doing some good stuff with that. So check it out. I want to thank the membership here at the channel. That's the members of the Horns High Club and the Mayhem Squad. You guys kick ass, and I appreciate it. I got my own Mayhem Squad shirt on right now, as a matter of fact, and I appreciate everyone who watches these videos. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your thoughts, and I'll see you next time.